At the beginning of the trading session, the British pound was trading near its highest levels against the US dollar for the first time since April 2018. Investors bought the pound sterling amid the economic reopening and quite a high vaccination pace in the UK. However, the British currency failed to consolidate at record highs. The UK manufacturing PMI turned out to be below the preliminary estimate. The indicator advanced to 65.6 points, whereas economists had expected to rise to 66.1. Although the indicator reached its all-time high, investors had priced in a higher reading. As a result, the pound sterling dropped just after the publication. At the same time, in the Eurozone, the situation is a bit different. The Eurozone manufacturing PMI advanced to 63.1 points. Economists had predicted a decline to 62.8 points from 62.9. However, the euro almost ignored the data as market participants were mainly focused on the preliminary inflation report. According to the forecast, the Eurozone inflation should have increased to 2% from 1.6%, thus reaching the ECB's targeted level. In such cases, the regulator has to switch to a tighter policy. Of course, it's not a reasonable decision amid the ongoing economic recovery. Higher interest rates may have a negative effect on economic growth. The European Central Bank will hardly take such a decision if inflation grows at a moderate pace. However, yesterday's report on Germany's inflation pointed to the fact that inflation could rise rather fast. Fortunately, these predictions did not come true. It means that the ECB will keep its monetary policy unchanged in the near future. This news should have boosted the euro. However, the single currency remained stable after the recent jump. Thus, only the US manufacturing PMI data may alter the market situation. Notably, this will be possible only if the data fails to match the preliminary estimates. If the indicator's reading is in line with the forecast, the market situation is likely to remain the same. In this case, investors will wait until Friday, when the US Labor Department will disclose its report. Let us take a look at the trading charts. Yesterday, the euro-dollar pair broke the upper limit of the range of 1.2180 and 1.2205. The pair began climbing towards the resistance level of 1.2230. Analyzing the current chart, we can see that the resistance level of 1.2230 is still exerting pressure on buyers. This, in turn, has a negative influence on the volume of long positions. Unless the price consolidates above 1.2250 on the 4-hour chart, it may slide to the sideways channel of 1.2180 and 2205. At the same time, the pound-dollar pair is still trading within the range of 1.4100 and 4240. Yesterday, the accumulation process took place near the upper limit of the range. On the chart, we can see that during the Asian trade, the price made an attempt to break the upper limit of the range. However, it failed to consolidate above 1.4240 on the 4-hour chart. Traders may still use the strategy based on a rebound from the limit of the range. If you prefer to approach based on a break, you should take into account the diversion of 10 or 15 pips from the upper limit. And that's all for now. We keep monitoring the financial market situation. Subscribe to our channel and see you in several hours. We will take a close look at the US trading session.